Hi, everyone. Welcome to Unleash Her. I'm Roberta, and I'm your host for the podcast today. And I'm so excited that you're here. And I can't wait to introduce to you my new friend, Miss Jeanette Lowry. Hi, Jeanette. How are you?
Hey, Roberta. We've had a little chat prior to opening this. We've got so much in common, girl.
I know
So
this is
fun.
so awesome. I cannot wait. And I want everyone to get to know you as well. So, why don't you just start off and tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Well, I am a native Oregonian. Now we reside in Vancouver, Washington. I am the eldest daughter of six kids. My parents were very young when they got married, 18, and had my brother, who was the firstborn, but he was born mentally challenged. And I was
Mhm.
born a year later. So with the other four that came along back to back to back, I became the little mom. By age one, I was up and walking. My mom tells me I was walking out of the womb, but it became one of those households that was always in a frenzy, frantic. My dad launched his own insurance business. So I became mini me, my mom, and just made sure the lunches were made for school bus, times out the door, socks on. So I had a lot of responsibility as a youth. And age 9 in grade school, one of our PE teachers asked two or three of us if we wanted to tumble after school. We're like, yeah. So that started my journey for the next, decade uh, in gymnastics. So I became a gymnast at the University of Oregon, scholarship athlete, trained at the academy prior to that, and basically blew my knee out my senior year, which changed my life. So it was a terrible knee injury, which took a couple years to rehab, but it really put me into the fitness arena. I became so graced in rehab that I really got the nutrition was always inspired in me because of gymnastics. So I was always a clean eater. I'd buy my own groceries at my household because my mom, tried to scrape and the other kids ate crap. And I always worked, so I had my own money, but I've just been passionate about fitness, weight wellness, all that. So started working with women, teaching classes, and married my college sweetheart. We went to Michigan. He played football for the Detroit Lions, which gave me time to find out who I was. And so I did a lot of things: fitness, charity, nonprofits, modeling, whatever. Had my first child in Michigan and came home in 1990 when he was released. So that started my entrepreneur bug. And a girlfriend called me and said, Jeanette, I know that you love skincare. You pay a lot of money for this stuff. I found something you're going to love. So one thing led to another. I became an accidental entrepreneur. But I knew from watching my dad's insurance business that recurring income was my happy place because I saw our lifestyle improve as his business grew. He had more time off because the recurring nature of premiums, paying automatically. So for 7 years, I built a accidental business. Didn't know what I was doing, but found mentors within the leveraged income business and really grew personally for 7 years. Then I was hit with a divorce. And I think a lot of women can relate to that, that I speak to anyway. You go through this trauma in life and you're not sure if you're going to wake up the next morning. And I had two young kids at the time. So Brian was 9, Lexi was 2. And I just thank God I had the recurring income business, which I got in the divorce. Praise God, because it allowed me to stay home for the next 20 years and raise my kids. And I wish that for every working mom. I just, I see the struggle that working moms go through, juggling everything, forgetting about her, forgetting about me, because everything else comes first. And what I find is there's so much greatness instilled in all of us. We all have this magic, this just piece of something that you can provide that's bigger than self. But a lot of times it gets buried because of all the hubbub going on in life, in the surface, in that look. So if I can get women, which is what mentorship did for me, is really allowed me to sit back and start dreaming again, dreaming about possibilities, dreaming, oh, I didn't turn my ringer off, I'm sorry. Dreaming about possibilities, dreaming about who do I want to be when I grow up? Who do I want to, nurture? Who do I want to inspire? And I love teaching that to women today, because deep inside, you have fire burning in something that you were gifted with. God gifted all of us with something, a purpose, a mission, and it just has to unbury itself. So that's what I love doing today, is helping women find themselves with a new body, if that's what they need, with weight wellness, no dieting, but enjoying the process of clean eating, feeling better, and getting results income wise, because you're in a community that helps you build your nest egg.
Hmm. Okay, so much I could say. And
Unpack it.
but first of all, how fortunate were you that your what teacher did you say said
Mentor.
something about
Oh, my coach.
tumbling?
Yeah, the
Your
coach. He was a
yeah.
PE teacher at the time, but he became a coach at the academy too.
Was he like, "What?"
Yeah, because my sister, myself, and another gal, Nero, her name is Lorene, but we called her Nero. The three of us, he always saw in PE class that we had agility, flexibility. So he picked three of us out to tumble. And so he lined mats up in the gym and taught us cartwheels and back handsprings and stuff. And then when the National Academy of Artistic Gymnastics opened, it was Olympic coach Dick Mulvihill and Olympian Linda Matheny, who is his wife now. And it was a big thing in Eugene, Oregon. And it brought gymnasts from all over the world to train. And a few years I kept improving. Anyway, I would only go to school half day. And so that forced me to be a really good student and use my time wisely, which is
Yeah.
another thing I can teach. Time mapping. And I trained there until I decided I needed to compete for high school, and with the hope of getting a scholarship, because I knew that was my route to college. So that's what I did.
Wow.
Yeah. And it all started with somebody reaching out.
Oh my gosh. You have lived a very exciting life.
Well, I'm
You
63, honey, so I'm a grandmother today. I have two granddaughters. One is
Oh my
Ivy
gosh.
Neve. She's 3.5, and I take her to gymnastics now once a week. And her sister Piper, Renee, was born 5 months ago. So it's my
Oh,
happy place. Yes,
yes. Congratulations.
thank
And
you.
you look absolutely amazing. And you
Thank
feel
you.
amazing too.
Oh, yeah. People call
And
me the energized bunny, but you know what? That's what good nutrition does to you from the inside out.
totally,
Hmm.
totally agree.
Hmm. Yes. Yeah, we talked about this, Roberta, so you
Yes.
you get it.
Yes. Yeah. Just a few years ago, I, it was only a few years ago that I changed the way that I eat, my nutrition.
Good
And
for you.
I used to blame like my lower back hurting all the time. I used to blame that on being a hairstylist and standing on my feet in one spot
Yeah,
all day. Now, granted, it's not the best for you, but I'm going to tell
right.
you
You
now
have to
that
have
I've
good
made
shoes.
changes, uh-huh. And now that I've made changes, I don't have the aches and pains.
It is amazing. People they're shocked at how good they can feel once they flush their body of the toxic buildup, the residues in the cells. that keep us fat. You know, women, especially post-menopause,
Yeah.
the gut fat, the belly fat, the inner tube keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And the only way we can release that is to rid the body of the toxins, because toxins will live in those fat cells, kind of like a Pac-Man. You know, the fat cells kind of gobble up that toxin from the foods, the chemicals, the air, the water, products we put on our hair, our face, our bodies.
Mhm.
And until you can release that, which is what I became involved with, a company I'm with now, is to release the toxins. Then you start seeing, with clean eating and protein, women, you don't get enough protein. And
Mhm.
I teach women, you need to have 150, if your goal weight is 150 pounds, you should be intaking 150 grams of clean protein per day.
Yeah.
And I would say most women I work with
Mhm.
who are stressed, working moms,
Mhm.
juggling everything, their stress level from cortisol, that hormone that just triggers, keeps us holding fat.
Yeah.
Toxin buildup keeps us holding fat. And until you can handle the stress, which adaptogens do, thank goodness, we've learned from our wisdom from the past. Adaptogens are plants and herbs that adapt in our body to help lower stress or raise the energy, detox the body and handle stress, and clean protein. So you can gain the muscle, lose the fat, the scale weight may change a little bit, but you've got a metabolism now that works.
Mhm.
It works
Yes.
for you.
I want to tell you something. So I don't like to weigh because
Yeah.
my whole life I've been standing on that scales and it just
Gymnastics, same here. I don't even, I only bought a scale about 5 years ago that has the metabolic breakdown. So it gives you the,
Mm.
portion of fat versus muscle.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I use a scale. And I tell women to get one from Amazon that I work with, for
Okay.
20 bucks. But it really helps you see that difference, because muscle and fat weigh the same, a pound for a pound, but they show up different on your body.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no,
Yes.
I know the old belief, muscle weighs more than fat. No, it doesn't. A pound is a pound. It
I
just
know.
shows up like this much on the
Mhm.
body.
Mhm.
Muscle,
Mhm.
a pound shows up like this much.
Yeah,
That's the difference. So,
exactly.
yeah,
So I want to tell you,
yes,
so I quit weighing, but if I go to the doctor or somewhere and I weigh, and the other day I had to jump on the scale somewhere and I'm like, oh, what? And sometimes now I'm like, wow, how am I keeping this weight off? Like I'm not even trying that hard.
yeah, yeah, because your
So,
body's working the way
yes,
God meant it to work.
when you exactly what you said, when you let go of the stress, when you get a
Mhm.
good night's rest,
Yes,
when you
that's important.
just yes, and just fuel your body. And I gotta tell you, I think I eat more now than I ever have.
Women are shocked. They eat more with, the it's not a food plan, it's not a diet,
Yeah,
it's new habits. That's what it is.
yeah,
It's replacing this for this. They eat more now than they have their entire lives. And I
yeah.
said that has been the problem. Because when you eat one salad a day, you put your body in starvation mode. And
Mhm,
so it's
mhm.
going to hold on to every single, morsel that you put in your mouth because it's afraid you're going to starve it again. But
Yeah.
that's the problem. And then you lose that muscle mass. Naturally, we lose it after, from age 30,
Mhm.
going through menopause, 40, your body starts shrinking the muscle. And unless you get the clean protein and do some resistance exercises, Roberta, it's not hard. I
Yeah.
teach some women with soup cans, get
Mhm,
2 soup cans that you're never going to open or eat because you can't pronounce the first 10 words on the can because it's all chemicals,
mhm,
seriously. And it's
mhm.
just empty calories that are just going to store as fat if you don't burn them. So,
Yes.
resistance, bands, light
Yeah.
weights, just to get started. And you can't believe when you get to be 60 that you can actually still stand up straight. I have more muscle today than I did when I was competing in gymnastics, grinding it.
Wow.
And you can reframe your mindset to reframe your body. That's been my journey.
Well, and that's what it's been. It's
Mhm.
that reframing, rewiring of the
Rewind.
brain.
Yes,
Change the way, change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change.
absolutely. I love that. I love that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And
bottom
look
line.
in the mirror and find something you like about yourself.
Yes, yes. And that's one of the things. I'm going to give your audience a gift that they can download, and it's called Girl, Quit Looking in the Rear View Mirror. And it's a compilation of mindset exercises, paradigm shifting exercises, goal setting exercises, so that they can download this and use it as a treasure trove to start unburying yourself from what's keeping you stuck.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you
Yeah,
so much. That
yeah,
is amazing. And I love that. And I want to tell everybody too, it's just, it's just baby steps. And you
yeah,
just make little changes here and there. And that's what I've done the past
yeah.
few years. And I'm at such a good point right now. And you get there and then you keep improving, but don't feel overwhelmed. And it sounds like you have this like map, this roadmap for everyone to
It is.
follow.
And that's, I took 2 years to work with. I mean, I've been a self, growth, personal growth, just guru from gymnastics. I mean, my dad used to have posters in his office. If you uh, if you don't make lemon, if lemons start hitting you from the head, raining down on you, make lemonade, things like that. So he was
Yeah.
always thinking glass half full, not
Yes.
half empty. And
Mhm.
so I started in
Mm,
just indulging myself in books, books for positive mentorship. I use books a lot for
I
my
do.
personal growth until I met mentors within my business who I could just, walk alongside their roadmap. And so that's what I created in 2017 as I launched the Academy to help women with loving themselves, growth, paradigm shifting, wellness from the inside out, healthy eating, business, and earning the money you deserve to make, not what somebody tells you you're worth. So
Mhm.
recurring income is a blessing. And I think every single woman listening to this would change in a minute if they knew they could, if they
Yeah,
had a vehicle.
I know. I do too. Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's really good because we just don't know. We don't know what we don't know.
Yes, I
I
use that all the time. We
why
don't.
does it why does it take sometimes such
Mm.
a like trauma in your life to wake us up? Why does it take something that bad? At least it did for me.
Because we don't have time to sit still. It's that place of trauma that interrupts the brain pattern. It's a total interruption to your unconscious mind that operates our life. That's the paradigm. We're living in our parents' home. We're still 7 or 8 years old, doing what was done in our home, having those same beliefs, the same patterns. If you grew up in a healthy family with good, boundaries and rituals and food plans, etc., you're probably following that by default. And if you didn't, then you're following that by
Yeah.
default. So that pattern interrupt, like you said, when trauma hits, it just totally stops that brain pattern.
Mhm.
And you have to sit back,
Mhm.
and hence you can rewire the brain, creating new patterns. When your daughter got in that car accident,
Yeah.
horrific,
Mhm.
that made you stop cold.
Yes.
You stopped everything you knew, everything you thought you'd be doing, and your attention went to your daughter. So you interrupted that pattern. And then that's when you said you started reinventing yourself.
Exactly. In every area that you have explained. And so there's something though, it kind of we're nearing into the holidays coming
Mhm.
up here. So let me ask you this, because this was my first challenge a
Uh-huh.
few years ago when I started making changes in my diet. And I'm like, but I don't want Thanksgiving dinner. I don't want to eat all this food that I don't even know if I really like. And I don't really,
Yeah.
some of it's not good for me.
Okay,
So,
that's a
how do you,
pattern. That's a pattern. That's an established paradigm. It's like,
yeah. So what do you do? Okay, so do you have when you go places,
uh-huh.
that they have food that
Yeah,
you particularly wouldn't eat? Just
right.
give me some heads up here.
You know what? I'm very I like food, but what
Mhm.
I do is I prepare myself before those big events. So I always have a protein shake that puts about 36 grams of protein in my body. So it satiates me. So I feel full. I'm not having cravings because it helps with the sugar cravings and feeling full, satiety. So when I show up for Thanksgiving, the food smells great. I just take smaller scoops of everything and I might take a few bites. I might finish the turkey because I know my body craves protein. I need protein. So I just eat from the plate based on the health of the food, really. And
Mhm.
I've always, scooped up a piece of pie, but I might just take 2 or 3 bites. And
Mhm.
that's good.
Yeah, because that's the biggest thing. Don't deprive yourself. And
No,
if
it's
there's
not about
something
deprivation. No deprivation. Diets don't work. Diet means die.
they don't, I know,
That's
I
what you're doing to your
totally
body. You're
agree.
killing the body. Deprivation. We live in the real world, but we also live in a world where our government has allowed
Mhm.
toxic chemicals to be put in our food. So if I have all kinds of trainings.
Mhm.
One of them is look in your pantry, look in your fridge, count how many cans, bottles, boxes, and bags you have of each,
Mhm.
and then look at the label. And if you can't pronounce the first 5 words, pitch it. If it's not real food, if it's chemical food, dyes, chemicalized everything, you are just putting toxic buildup in your body and your body doesn't recognize it. So it treats it like it's a foreign agent. The fat says, oh no, I can't let that foreign agent into the internal organs, which most reside in our gut area. It's trying to protect us. And until you can get that flushed out, weight loss is just a yo-yo game. It's just up and down. And I've seen too many thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of people get success when they can change their pattern, interrupt that toxic buildup, manage stress, and eat clean protein. So,
Yeah. Yeah, so true. One thing that I'm struggling with is trying to find things. Okay, look, I know food doesn't come in a bag
and
or a
it's not cheap
box.
today either.
I know. Yeah. So, but sometimes you want just a little crunch. Well, I'm like, I can't find anything that does not have vegetable oil in it.
Okay, I found chicken chips. Oh my gosh. They come from Nashville, where my husband, my second marriage, now
Oh,
22 years.
yeah.
Um, the first ingredient is chicken breast. First ingredient. Second is chicken bone broth. So they're called 10 grams of protein per serving. And it takes care of that crunch, takes care of that, that salt that you need
Yeah.
because they have a lot of Tabasco in it.
Yeah.
But look at the first 5 ingredients, and that's going to tell you if you're going to be adding fat cells, at blowing up your fat cells. We have established our fat cells when by the age 10, by the age of 10, but they either shrink like raisins or they blow up like balloons. And a
Mm.
lot of it is toxic buildup inside these fat cells. You got to rid the body of toxins,
Okay.
pee it out.
How do you do that? Is it just by changing your diet or do you have to do
Well,
other
I'll tell
things?
you what, there are so many studies. First of all, cancer, autoimmune issues, disease, thrives in a body that is acidic. That is a toxic body. 100% of autopsies done on cancer patients show acidic internal organs. Everything is acidic. And that's most of the food we eat today. It's junk. It's fake food. And so an acidic body can't release fat. It holds on to disease. Cancer grows, it thrives. So you look at one of the wealthiest, smartest nations in the country, and we have the most obesity of any country. Our kids are obese, up to 50% today. And so you've got to get the body to an alkaline state. To alkalize a body, you can be drinking lemon water every hour of every day. But I found a way through Dr. John Anderson, who is the guru of minerals. Look him up on Google.
Okay.
They call him the mineral man. He's now gone to be with the Lord, but he had a trauma. He was bitten by a brown recluse spider. He had the largest botanical garden in Arizona in the world. And this venom just bubbled up his leg. And in the hospital, they said they're going to have to amputate his leg because the toxic buildup. He called a friend, get me out of here, went to his lab, worked like a mad scientist, and created a concoction that's called Cleanse for Life. And it's got, 100 botanicals and herbs and stuff. Herbal remedies that pull toxins. He saved his leg. And that's how this company, Isogenics, was born 23 years ago. So that is what I help women use that. Intermittent fasting, we've been doing that forever. 1 or 2 day intermittent fasting with detoxing the body. Then you can start absorbing the good protein, flush the fat, release the toxins. And you'll be amazed. You wake up, no brain fog. You wake up, oh, my joints feel better. Wow. Where's this energy coming from? I didn't have to set my alarm. Things like that happen when your body is operating the way God intended it to operate. So it's a beautiful thing.
That is so true because I have so much more energy now,
Yes. And you said
even
your
as I get older.
pain. You said
And yes,
your back pain and stuff. Yeah.
that feels good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
There's just,
And
I call it my toolbox. There's just
yeah.
shortcuts for alkalining the body, but you've got to get it alkaline and it's got to stay alkaline. So there's research studies showing, that combination of products can keep the body alkaline 24/7. And that's really what the state you want to stay in.
Yeah, and how easy is that just to add some lemon to your water?
You know, people won't, people will not do it.
I'm gonna
You
go
should be
do it right when
drinking,
we get off of
you should
this.
be drinking the amount of ounces that you weigh. So if you weigh 150 pounds, 150 ounces of water per day
Yeah.
with lemon. And it's got to be the amount of lemon also, by the way. It
Ooh.
sounds very contradictory because lemon is acidic, but
Mhm.
it alkalines the body. So, but
Yeah.
so do herbal concoctions that
Yeah.
have properties of drawing out, like peppermint. And there's so many. You look at the ingredient list on this Cleanse for Life, and you can go and look up every single herbal concoction, adaptogen, whatever,
Mhm.
and every single one of them draws the impurities. So,
Mm.
yeah, easier
Wow.
ways, toolbox.
Yes, there are
Yeah,
easier ways. There's been a lot
yeah.
of talk recently about our salt.
Oh, salt and sugar hijacked our food industry 70 years ago. And they've made it so that the food that we eat today
Mhm.
addicts us.
Mhm.
Sugar is an
Yeah.
addiction, like cocaine. It works the
Mhm.
same brain
Mhm.
pathways as cocaine does.
Mhm.
And to detox from sugar is not an easy charge, but it makes it easier when you can detox and nourish your body at the same time. So
It
that's
does. And
that's
when
yeah.
you yeah, and when you kind of eliminate or push the sugar away from you, then even something like if I just have some like a date, a medjool date,
It
Oh my
just
gosh.
like, oh, too sweet.
It's so sweet.
Yeah, yeah. Your
Like,
taste buds do change because the chemicals in your body are not screaming, I need sugar, I need sugar, I need sugar. But that's what the food industry has done with the chemicals being used. You know, European foods, they only allow about 300 ingredients to be added to the foods, chemical ingredients. US, over 1,000. And you look at the longevity of our lifespan now, you look at obesity, and
yeah.
it's like these same companies, Kellogg, all these big, I call them big food, like big pharma, they work together.
Yep.
The foods make us sick, medical treats it, they don't cure it, they don't, make it go away, they just treat it. So they're in cahoots with each other. It's I think Robert F. Kennedy is going to do some fantastic things
I was thinking the exact
for our
same thing.
food and for our families for the
Hmm.
future. So
Yeah, I do too. I do
he's been
too.
in on this conversation for a long time.
Yeah. Oh, this is awesome. Hey, I
Yeah.
wanted to ask you. So someone told me about this app that I put on my phone. It's called Yuka,
Oh, I
and
use it.
it scans. Okay, tell them. Tell us about it.
Well, Yuka just basically it's not involved, it doesn't get paid to do this, but it looks up different products
Mhm.
and rates them. It rates, 0 to 10, I think it is. And it tells you, stay away from it. This
Mhm.
product sucks, no matter what the advertisement says.
Yes.
Don't use it. So, my major was advertising public relations in college. I learned way long decades ago that advertising, they just sell lies basically.
Mm.
So the best way to advertise is your friend telling you about something that works, word of mouth,
Mhm.
because you're going to see the results a
Mhm.
product or service or system had for your friend. And you're going to say, wow, I want that. I want what you have. So that's how my business works. It's all word of mouth. And
Yes.
when you get results,
Yeah.
the proof is in how you feel, how you look. And Yuka is a great guideline for making better choices.
It really is. I
Yeah.
wanted to tell you, we scanned like Gatorade.
Oh, yeah.
Um, guys,
Horrible.
I hate to tell you this,
The
but there
dyes.
are hazardous,
Yeah.
toxic chemicals in
Mhm.
your Gatorade, in your
Mhm.
food, in your, I mean, we all know Red 40.
Well, the candy that kids, succumb,
Oh,
uh, Halloween, which I dislike that holiday, sorry, but
yeah.
the red dyes, the blue dyes, they're still using that in our
I
foods,
know.
our cakes. Europe won't allow that.
Yeah.
So these same big food make the same food, but they use different chemicals for the European versions.
Yeah.
What's up with that? It tells you what's up with that. They want to keep us sick, unhealthy, so that we get treated with big pharma medicine. And I think COVID proved that with the COVID vaccination thing,
Hmm. Yep.
which proved to not be really studied.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
And if you don't have the time to do the research, then find a mentor, find
yeah,
someone that has done it. Look, I've
yes,
done so much hours and hours and hours on research, and I know you have as
yes,
well.
decades, decades. But you know what? That's the journey of life,
Yes.
It's green and growing or ripe and rotten. And that's the way I look at it. That's why I came out of retirement. It's like my kids are grown. I need a new purpose. So
Yeah.
that's,
Yes.
you can reinvent yourself. I reinvented myself at 58 when I started this new adventure. And I I feel more inspired today than I did with my first business in 1990 because of the technology, the social media platforms that we can meet new people on, global economy. So there's a
Yeah.
bigger span and bigger reach. So
Yeah.
help more people.
Oh my gosh, we could talk forever on
Oh, I
this.
know. I know. We did talk for half an hour before the podcast started.
Yes, we did. Oh,
We'll
I'm so
certainly get
glad.
in touch for sure. This has been a wonderful conversation. And for sure, have your audience download,
Mhm.
that girl quit looking in the rear view mirror, because it
Yes.
really help you at least at a starting place to
Yeah.
reinvent paradigms.
Yeah. Definitely. I'll share that too with everyone.
Yeah, show
I
notes.
appreciate that.
Yeah,
I mean, this is it's so beautiful. And I love how, you reached out to me
yeah,
and was that on LinkedIn? Is that how
yeah,
you
it
found me?
was.
Okay.
Mhm. Yep, yep,
Okay.
yep.
Perfect. I
Love it.
loved it. And then I started reading over your bio and all of your accomplishments.
Aw,
And I'm like, okay, all right, this girl's awesome.
I love
And
it. Love it.
and
You
just
meet
you
your kin, you have soulmates. I have so many soulmates now because of the business I'm in. A
yeah,
community of like-minded women that we can collaborate and we can help each other. I love that.
I do too. I do
Yeah.
too. I hope we can keep in touch after
Oh,
this.
100%. Not a question. Not even a question.
Oh, good. So
Good
you
luck to
have
your daughter. I hope you get a phone call.
Oh my gosh, I know you guys. I was like, if my phone rings, we're stopping this thing so I can
I said, no
answer it.
problem.
Big, big things coming. And that's another thing too, when you study just manifestation and how
Mhm.
you can attract. And once you're looking, look, I just posted this on Facebook today, and it's the things that you're looking for are looking for you. So when you're putting it out
Absolutely.
there and you're like, I want to be healthier and I want to be wealthier and more abundant and prosperous, and then those people will come to you.
Yes.
Pay
Yes.
attention.
Yes. It's like when you're going to buy a new car and you want a gold Jeep. You start seeing gold Jeeps everywhere. It's
Mhm.
planting that seed in your mind for
Yeah.
what you desire, what you want, what you're looking for, who you want to become. And then you do the actions and the daily, routine to get there.
Yeah.
So,
I love that. Okay. So what is your, if we're almost finished here, but what is your goal? What is your purpose now? You've come back into this and you, I know it's helping others and serving others in a way.
mhm.
Do you want to expand on that?
Well, I believe that we all have a seed that we were born with. We have something that is inspired deep, 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 deep in our soul, in our heart, but it gets buried because we're
Mhm.
so busy, especially women. We juggle many hats and we forget about us a lot
Yeah.
of times. And it's that taking that time out, that quiet time to really start dreaming again, opening up your beliefs. What did you want to do when you were a kid that just kind of went away because you grew up and the real world said, I'm going to work for ABC company. They're telling me what my worth is. And inside you're fighting that. You're still saying, there's something more. I've
Mhm.
got something more to do. I want to leave a footprint. And your talent might be art, it might be singing, it might be decorating, it might be nutrition. Get that seed unburied, water it, nurture it, grow it, even on the side. You have to pay bills, but on the side. And as you progress, the things that you are thinking about, you're dreaming about, you're planting, they will be attracted. Law of attraction. That's the bottom line. So I help women find themselves, unbury that seed, create the vision for who they want to become. And then step by step, there's a process to nurture and grow. And it starts with getting your body healthy so that your confidence is healthy.
Yeah.
And then the community of support. When your body changes, people ask, and that's how we make money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
It's just a ripple effect. It's that thing
yep,
that just happens. And
yep.
that's so good. And don't you find that most women are like, I don't know what I want to do.
A lot of women, and especially if you've gone through the the two big D's, death of a spouse who left you with a financial mess, or divorce.
Mhm.
And women just get stopped in their tracks. So another aged area of women like myself is those women that are forced back into the workforce. They hate what they're doing. They're burned out. They do not have a retirement plan. So I help them gain their confidence through their body awareness, body changes, mental changes, and earning money at the same time. Earn as you learn. And it can be a vehicle to replace your full-time income, as it was mine, and a legacy income that is in my will for my kids. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, so beautiful. Thank you so much
you're
for
welcome. I
sharing your
love
story.
Elvis. I'm looking.
Yeah, my
I love
Elvis
Elvis.
binder.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
We had a little conversation about Elvis, didn't
Yes,
we?
we did. Thank you, Roberta, so much. I really love this conversation, and I hope that your
Yeah.
audience gets value.
Yeah, thank you. Thank
You're
you
so
so
welcome.
much, Jeanette. Yes, guys, make sure you reach out and make sure that you download, do we say?
Yeah, download the PDF that'll be in the show notes.
Okay.
And my website is just my name.com, JeanetteLowry.com. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, perfect. Thank you so much, everybody. Reach out. We would love to help you. We are here. This is our purpose. This is our mission. And please let us help you. So, thank you so much for joining today. And instead of goodbyes, I like to leave my podcast with what my grandma used to say. And that was, see you later.